So we've put 3 vending machines in so far. There is people that want that sort of convenience straight away where they don't want to talk to anyone. They just choose their product, tap their card and they walk away, even when the shop's open.
This is the Australian Butchers Guild podcast, brought to you by Meat and Livestock Australia, the podcast for passionate butchers.
Alrighty, welcome to the Australian Butchers Guild podcast. I'm your host, Doug Piper. Thanks for joining in each week over the last 42 weeks we've been going for now. It's been a bit of a ride. We've met some fantastic butchers. We've covered a lot of different topics, and I just hope that you all enjoyed them all. And we really thank you for supporting our podcast for the last couple of years and continue to do so into the future. Today we're going to catch up with a couple of butchers, actually a husband and wife team, Tanya and David Funnell from Chop Butchery in New South Wales. Tanya and Dave have a really good business out there in the suburbs. They've got about 12 shops, 11 or 12 shops and a wholesale business, and they're doing some really cool, innovative stuff that helps them keep in front of the customers throughout the week. So we're going to catch up with them right now. Here's Tanya and David. G'day, guys.
Hi, Doug. How are you?
How are you, Doug?
Thanks for taking the time off the Savo, or is this your rostered day off?
Working from home today, actually.
Working from home on the coast too.
Yeah, beautiful.
How good's that? No driving down to Sydney. I love that.
Yeah.
Really interested in your business. Like you guys, how many shops do you have? 11 or 12, or have I got that wrong?
We've got 13, so we've got 12 in shopping centres and then we've got one shop in a warehouse.
How long have you guys been in business for?
This year we've just clocked over 9 years.
Wow. That's gone quick. I actually remember coming out to one of your shops. I think it might have been your first one out western suburbs, and it was about the day before you were going to go to meat stock.
Yeah, wow, that was...
I was pregnant with Anna Lee, so she's 10 now. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so that would have been,
10 years.
First shop at Borkham Hills.
Yeah. That was it. I was going to say Borkham Hills, but I wasn't too sure if you had one there. Yeah, right. Yeah, no, I remember that quite clearly. You had a lamb there spread out, ready. Well, actually about to break a lamb down and do a little bit of practice the day before the competition, which is pretty brazen. But you did all right in the comp, mate?
Yeah, it went all right. Gave it a crack, you know.
Yeah. Good memory.
I probably wouldn't be able to do it now. A bit slow now.
Hey, you haven't seen me work yet, mate. So what made you take on butchery as a career, Dave?
Yeah, so I was 15 when I left school and I started a chef apprenticeship. I loved the food side, like cooking, but the hours just didn't suit me. So I got offered an apprenticeship at a local butcher shop in Greystanes, and that's where it all started.
Isn't it amazing? Who'd want to be a chef? The broken shifts, like, you know, you've got your split shifts throughout the day. You know, starting at 9 o'clock to get ready for lunch, and then a couple of hours off, and then you come back for doing dinner service, and that. You know, take your hat off to some of those chefs out there.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you wouldn't want to do it when you got a family, like a wife and kids. It'd just be too hard.
So your business, mate, you've got some really sharp looking shops. I love the design. I love the colours that you're using, the dark tiles and everything. Tell us a little bit about why you wanted to go so big, so quickly too. It's just something that you had planned, or is it just the way it's all eventuated over time?
Yeah, I suppose it's just being given opportunity, and sort of not one of those guys to sit around and wonder if I'd done that or done this, and just have a crack and try your best, and all we can do.
So dealing with the shopping centre management, do you have someone that does that, or is that your job, Tanya?
Yeah, that's my job, Doug. So yeah, keep a close relationship with the leasing guys. We try to keep up a good rapport with them, so we touch base with them every quarter, every 6 months. Even some of the leasing guys we've come across that we haven't taken a shot with, we still like to keep a close communication with them as well. I think that's a key difference, that we're managing our own leases. It's a direct contact between owner and the centre, and I think the centre appreciates that a lot more too. It turns the deals a lot quicker, and we can keep a close eye on it. We probably would never pass that on to anyone else. We'd probably still keep doing that ourselves.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Like having a finger on the pulse and you building that relationship, like you said, is crucial to the success, and just makes life a lot easier for everyone, I think.
Yeah, we've definitely learnt a lot over the years, like over the last nine and a half years, and there's some things that we probably wouldn't do different because we've learnt from them. But yeah, it's definitely been a big learning curve. And then, yeah, each time we open a new store or find a new site, we've learnt something from the previous. So we never stop learning.
You're right, you never do. How do you go about finding tradespeople?
It was probably challenging in the beginning, but I think as we've established our brand and reputation, and Dave and I are quite hands on in the business, we know everybody that works with us. We extend them like our extended family as well. So we have a bit over 100 employees now. We manage our own payroll. Dave manages all the rosters with his right hand man. So we're quite personal with our staff as well. And I think being established for 9 years, people tend to trust that they've got security in a job and their future with us as well.
That's tended to be a bit of a problem with a lot of the chains over the years, is being able to retain those employees, especially the good ones. It's a challenge to do that week in, week out sometimes with a lot of them. And I think a lot of it comes back to the way that you treat people. So, if you're looking after them and giving them a clear future, like giving them the confidence that they're going to have a job tomorrow is crucially important to the way that they're going to react and feel about working for you.
Yeah, and obviously we've got different opportunities within our business too, because we do retail ready products for supermarkets, we do small goods, and we do food service as well. So you can either go from managing a store of ours, or you could get into more of the sales side.
We've got home delivery as well. So if you want to pack orders and jump in a van and do home delivery. So our role's a bit more than your standard retail butcher role as well. We've got a lot of opportunity that we can offer. And, the job doesn't get mundane. If you want to do a bit of a job switch, like a job role within the company, you can. So if you're sort of getting, a bit stuck in a rut in one of the shops, then come to the factory for a little bit. Some go back to the shop quite quickly. But, the staff have quite a lot of opportunity to move around if they wish. We find that, there's a retail butcher and, there's a wholesale butcher as well. But yeah, there's lots of different opportunities for everybody.
That's awesome. It's great to have that diversity in your job role. If you get sick and tired of serving customers or doing just your general butchery work, you can go out work in the factory, or, like as you said, even go out and do deliveries, I suppose, or pick orders.
Yeah, so you don't have to leave. They just got to tell us, or communicate with us, or if we feel that, they might be getting a bit bored or whatever, we'll sit down and have a chat and work something out. So we tend to retain well on that side as well.
What would be the more popular side of the business, working in the shops or the factory? Or
they go hand in hand. You couldn't do one without the other. So they're equally as important.
So you guys have a really unique offering for customers, don't you? The vending machines.
Yeah, so we've put 3 vending machines in so far, and future plans is to obviously get a lot more out there.
And how are they working for you?
Yeah, definitely going to take some time to get customers used to that sort of shopping. There is people that want that sort of convenience straight away, where they don't want to talk to anyone. They just choose their product, tap their card, and they walk away, even when the shop's open. So, yeah, I think once we do a bit more marketing around it and get them into more places, people will just get more and more used to it.
Yeah, I think there's been a few butchers around the place here and there that have put them into their business, catering for the demographic that don't get to the shopping centre in time to actually catch the butcher shop open. So if they like your meat, they're definitely, hopefully they're going to go there and buy out of the vending machines.
Yeah.
What sort of a range do you keep in the machines? What's the more popular cuts?
Yeah, so the range we have is we've got Wagyu cuts, we've got your standard steak cuts like eye fillet, New York, Scotch fillet rump. We've got gourmet sausages, chicken breast, mince.
You've got your everyday staple items in there, as well as some of the value-added and higher-end products as well. So there's a broad range in there to cater for everybody.
And probably the top seller would be the steaks at the moment, more so the Wagyu.
Barbecue season coming on, like everyone's been dusting off the barbies and that, and I think, that makes sort of sense, doesn't it?
The key difference with our vending offering is definitely the packaging and the type of machine we have. They're the first ones here in Australia. So it's a soft vend machine, and we have some really good packaging machines in our factory. So the presentation of the product looks good. It also vends quite well. So it doesn't just drop. It's a soft vend that, slowly comes down and sort of almost hands it to you. So the meat doesn't get damaged along the way. It's got extended shelf life as well due to the packaging we're using. So we found it's been quite good and quite popular.
Is it a gas flush packaging, or is it vacuum packaged?
Yeah, we've got gas flush and then we've got skin pack as well.
Just depending on the product. So the steak and chicken would have all different packaging.
And I know those machines aren't cheap either, so there's a pretty big investment just there alone, setting all the packaging side of it up.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, the
right.
packaging, the software, the branding, the installation. We feel there's a lot of growth here for the vending. There's a lot happening over in, Hong Kong, Germany. They're already been doing this for years. So it doesn't take long for it to eventually roll out here and it become a common way people will purchase items now.
So mints and that, you've got mints in there as well. What sort of shelf life do you get out of mints? Being that is like it's gone through the mincer. Obviously, it's warmed up. You've had you've warmed up the temperature of the meat as it goes through the mincer. And that, how does that the packaging that you're using, you get adequate shelf life out of that?
Yeah, we get 10 days. So where we produce everything out of our factory at Richmond it's all chilled. So the working conditions are,
Well, it's in a cool room facility, so it's never not under, like it's always under 4 degrees at any one time. So it's never got warm. It's constantly chilled.
Yeah, that's
So it
great.
extends shelf life. Yeah.
Yeah. And how do the sausages go? You obviously sell a few sausages in there. Do you have a bit of a range of sausages, or do you find that you're just sort of sticking to, the more popular ones?
yeah, we've only got 2 gourmet sausages in there, 2 different types, and then we've got a sausage sampler pack. So it gives you 5 different sausages, so 1 of each sausage.
Getting back to temperature control, if you have an issue with temperature or the machine breaks down, what sort of service is available here in Australia? Is it pretty reliable, or have you had to use it yet?
Yeah, they generally get there within sort of half a day anyway, the techs. With these vending machines, they're all cloud-based, so we can actually log on, from home or our office and be able to tell what's being sold, if the temperature's incorrect or anything like that.
It takes cash and FPOS as well, which a lot of machines won't accept cash, but our ones still do accept cash as well.
What's cash?
Yeah. Yeah. Surprisingly, they're still around.
Yeah, right. Okay, fine.
Yeah, so we still have a good percentage of customers that still do prefer to pay with cash.
Obviously, there's a little bit of maintenance there to be done throughout the working week with the vending machines. If you've got a bit of spillage or something actually springs a leak somewhere along the line, easy to clean out and everything.
Yeah. So our store managers have the keys. They just check it over every morning, give it a wipe down, check all the temperatures, just as you have to do for all your HACCP book and all that. So,
oh, that's great. No, I'm sure a few guys might be interested in those vending machines. You also have a good range of like high-end meat in a lot of your stores. Like you got your Wagyu. You also do a bit of dry age as well.
yeah, we do quite a bit of dry age. That's a product that's probably taken off over the last sort of couple of years anyway. Just your standard sort of premium cuts, ribeyes, T-bones, rumps, bone-in strip loins, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so coming into Christmas and that, they'll probably fly out the door with a lot of people looking to fire up the barbecues and entertaining, I suppose.
Yes, definitely.
Actually,
It's an acquired taste, but it's got a huge health benefit too behind it. The dry aged meat.
when you're talking about health benefits, what are you saying? Less fat, or?
Yeah, because the meat's aged and it breaks down all the enzymes and it makes the meat more tender. So it's got a good health benefit for your heart and all that after it as well. Yeah.
Yeah. I never looked at it that way. Yeah, I love the taste of dry aged meat. I think it's got nothing too funky, but I just like that little bit of nuttiness, and you can't go past the tenderness of it. It certainly has been a bit of a groundbreaker for a lot of butchers over the years. I was one of the early doubters, actually. I'd sort of thought, here's a trend that'll come and go. It's probably more suited for food service. But like usual, proven wrong. And it's good to see that it's still a great part of the butcher's business. And so many butchers out there have invested in dry age machines over the years. And they're certainly making good use of them.
Yeah, there's some guys out there doing some pretty cool things with them. Like, I've seen one butcher, I think he was soaking the legs of lamb in red wine and wrapping them up with the cheesecloth, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, I've seen some things like that too. There's one butcher that was doing, there's a couple of butchers out there do it using Jack Daniels. They're soaking their sirloins and whatnot in some JD, and putting them in there. I think it's a bit of a waste of Jack Daniels, but anyway.
I'm sure they have a bit too.
One for the steak, one for them.
Yeah, I bet you they don't let some of the butchers do it. That's for sure. They'll be keeping that to themselves. all the meat, all the beef and lamb that you use. So you just buying that in carton form, or you using carcasses? Do you have an affiliation with a producer or anything?
Yeah, so majority of our beef is from Five Founders, which is part of NAPCO. So yeah, we get a natural fall out of them, which comes in a carton form. So yeah, we get a certain amount dedicated to us every week. Yeah, so there's only a few guys that sell it. We're probably one of the biggest sellers of it. And then the lambs come from Kiwa Valley. Yeah, so they're all come in fresh carcass.
And the shops are cutting up lambs. They're doing a bit of carcass meat themselves, or is it all coming in, going into the shops from the factory?
Yeah, so we get everything into the factory and then we send it out from there. So all the carcasses will get broken down into primals just so that we can control, some sort of wastage between the stores, because Northern Beaches shops might not sell forequarters or certain cuts where the Western shops will sell those products. So we can adjust what the stores need as we're breaking it.
That's great to have that flexibility, isn't it? To be able to pick and choose where you can send some of the cuts rather than sort of waiting for it to sell in the shop and having to double handle, I suppose, by having to send it off somewhere else. It's a pretty smart business move, that, really, when you think about it. But what about the trim and that? That's obviously collected as you go around for sausages, or the shops making their own sausages in store?
We produce all the sausages at the factory as well, just so that our customers get a consistent product. Doesn't matter what store they go in, and we're delivering to our stores 3 times a week anyway. So the boys, if they have any trimmings, they'll just vac them up and then send them back with the delivery driver.
Getting back to your beef brand, Five Founders, I sort of jumped the gun there a little bit. That they've got some beautiful beef coming out of there. They really do a fantastic job.
Yeah, it's all 100% carbon neutral as well. They really take care of their animals, and it's very consistent.
Is there a lot of interest with sustainability and provenance with your customers?
I think it's still a small percentage that really care. I think most of the customers they just want good quality meat, a good service, and that keeps them happy.
Yeah. And I suppose knowing in the background they're doing the right thing because it's carbon neutral, or it's been sustainably sourced, I think that'll take care of itself. That's the last thing on their plate at the moment, anyway, with the way things are for a lot of customers.
That's right.
I don't know if I asked you before. Are you putting any dry aged in your vending machines as well?
Not at the moment. We will be. So we're just going to go probably after Christmas now, but we're going to redo probably the layout of what we have in the machine and just mix it up a bit.
What would be your best shop? Where is that located?
Best one would probably be East Maitland up at Green Hill Shopping Centre. We've got Castle Towers in Castle Hill. Penrith Westfields, they're all high performance stores. But yeah, they all trade fairly well.
And we do get a lot of cross shoppers. So sometimes, people from the beaches or the hills, if they, holiday on the Central Coast, they'll shop at Batto Bay, for example. So there's a lot of cross shoppers. Sometimes Penrith and Nepean, we get cross shoppers between those two centres as well. That's why we also need the importance of having that consistent product between stores as well. And our price online or in store is the same. So we don't charge more if you order online for home delivery or click and collect as well.
You got a great system there. That's just so seamless. Everything flows. Everything's, it seems to run just the way you want it to run, isn't it?
Yeah, we do our own deliveries as well with our own vans, so we don't rely on couriers. So if there is ever an issue, it can be addressed straight away and rectified straight away. The point of difference is we can take orders up until 10 p.m. for next day delivery as well. We get in about 4 or 5 in the morning and pack orders for same day delivery. So having control of the logistics of it is very important.
Yeah, and all the orders for your online come out of the factory?
No, we do them out the back of one of our stores in Richmond. So it's just a bit easier packing out of a shop because you've got your full range, where at the factory you're a bit limited.
Only primals and sausages.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've still got some growth plans for next year in the next 12 months as well. So there's a few new stores that we're looking at opening in 2025, looking at expanding the online a bit and a bit of the wholesale. So, If there are any butchers out there that are needing hams for Christmas or sausages made, feel free to come and knock on our door. We're happy to help.
It's getting close to that time, isn't it? Thinking of hams and Christmas fare.
Well, we know it's a hard time if you're a single operator or you got, even 2 or 3 stores trying to make all your hams and then keep your counter stocked daily, sausages, it becomes quite challenging and they end up working some really crazy hours. So I think a lot of butchers, if they outsourced, even just the sausages, for example, or their hams at Christmas, they're going to get a lot of time back and you can't put a price on time.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
I was in that category quite a few years ago. Never
We
enough
all
time.
were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just remembered you're doing small goods, obviously hams, but small goods. What type of small goods are you making out there? Do you have an extensive range of small goods, or is it just what you need?
Yeah, it's not real extensive. So our main focus is leg hams, and then we do a bit of our own bacon, and then we do some like cabanas, Kranskis, and that's about it at the moment.
We do the dog treats.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we do dog treats in the oven as well,
Yeah.
but yeah, we're pretty busy with the leg hams, so we do quite a few of them. So
Have you thought about doing any small goods with beef and lamb? Have you tried anything of that to try and get a different type of customer coming into your stores?
yeah, it's definitely something that we've spoken about. But yeah, it's obviously just trying to get the time to have someone focus on it.
We did the lamb ham,
Yeah, done a lamb ham.
Yep.
but we got to make sure we cook separately and all that as well. So yeah, there's all that compliance behind it.
Yeah, definitely. I actually cooked one on the weekend. It actually came out really good. It was a mixture of, I had some oregano, had rosemary, garlic, coriander, some pepper, salt, obviously, caraway seeds, and yellow mustard seeds. The recipe mentioned yellow mustard seeds, and I've gone, oh God, where am I going to get them from? And you know what? You could get them at the supermarket. Yeah, I just thought I'd just give that lamb ham a crack, and it's a great alternative. And years ago, before you were born, in my day, when we started, we used to call lamb hams poor man's ham. So we'd get in mutton legs and we'd just throw them in the smoker, and they were cheap as.
Yeah, it would have been about 10 cents a kilo when you were started.
Thanks, mate.
Well, I've even got an article here from 1993, so not really that too long ago.
Yep.
And you got like pickled legs at $1.99 a kilo, yearling bone-in fillet $5.99. Spring lambs $2.19. Like
Wow.
1993.
Yeah, it's not all that long ago, is it really?
No.
Wow. Yeah.
I'll send it to you.
Oh, no, don't bother.
Oh, don't bother.
No, send it through. It's always interesting. I always love looking at that. Yeah, every now and again, someone will pop something on their socials and there'll be a little bit about Foodland or somebody's butcher shop that they had, and there's a pricing in there, and you just go, crikey, things were just so cheap. How did the farmers make money out of it? What they were doing. They've got to grow the things, the animals, and then we've got to sell them. So there wasn't a lot of money in it those days, but it was more about volume because there wasn't the amount of supermarkets that were around as there are today.
Yeah, you just can't sit complacent. You got to just keep evolving and keep moving and never get too comfortable because there is so much competition today. And yeah, you've just got to keep being versatile and growing and can't be complacent.
No, definitely not. And it's not just the supermarkets that are our competition either. It's all the QSRs. You've got McDonald's, Kentucky Fried, the pizza shops.
Yeah, all the takeaway options. Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that just don't have the skill to do it. So, it's a quick and easy fix, but it's not cheap.
Oh, the takeaway now is just terrible.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. It's awfully expensive and it's just a terrible feed.
Yes, it's handy every now and again if you're on the run somewhere on the road heading somewhere, but apart from that, no, give it a miss. Guys, really appreciate catching up with you today. I really appreciate your insights into your business and just telling us a little bit about what you're doing, and wish you all the very best for next year with expanding the business, and look forward to catching up with you maybe on the coast at some stage over the Christmas break, maybe having a beer or two.
That'd
be
Yeah,
good.
your shout.
Righto. No worries, mate. I'll bring the Heineken Zeros with me.
Oh, yeah, you can keep that.
We might be able to supply the meat. We'll see how we go.
Oh, do you know a good butcher?
Yeah, we might be able to find one.
Awesome. Look, thanks a lot, and I'll catch up with you soon.
Thanks, Doug. See ya.
Yes, Doug.
This podcast is provided for information purposes only. The MLA Group strongly recommends that listeners exercise discretion and obtain professional advice before relying on any information in this podcast.